Good day, I'm Asghar Sherlief, and these are the latest news from Kazakhstan. 6 people died as a result of the wildfire in northeastern Kazakhstan. Ruling party officials were not present at the roundtable initiated by Nuratan to discuss the corruption. Viktor Tsoi is alive. Legendary rock musician's character is back in the newly produced motion picture. 6 people died as a result of the wildfire in the northeastern region of Kazakhstan. 3 of the victims were the rangers who took part in the fight against the fire in Shaldabay. The fire reached up the Pavlodar and East Kazakhstan region's territories. Just over the night, it spread to the territory of neighboring Russia and the Semey-Ormany Natural Park, located 200 kilometers away from Semey. Kazakh Emergencies Minister had voiced the preliminary version of the fire caused during the press conference in Pavlodar yesterday. According to him, the fire started after the short circuit caused by the heavy winds. Residents of Bayimbet and Jabagli villages evacuated from the villages returned home. No buildings were damaged.
6 dead and 2 injured. Kazakhstan is on fire. Just in one day, the forest fire has spread in the Pavlodar region by covering the east of the country. Almost 500 firefighters, 100 volunteers, 2 helicopters and 3 firefighting trains are trying to extinguish the fire. The aviation group of the Russian Emergency Ministry is also involved in the mission. The total area of the fire is 4,000 hectares. People have died during the fire extinguishing at the Kokzhal forest economy of the Pavlodar region. The residents of the Jabagali, Bayimbet and Jandos villages are evacuated, informed the Emergencies Ministry. They have also ensured that there are no burnt villages in the east, but because of the fire, 2 residents were injured. These were the residents of our region, the city Semey from the village Begin, who were haymaking and were entrapped by the fire. They have received burns of the first and second level, 20% of the body. At the moment, they are at the hospital. Medical workers evaluate their condition as an average severity. More than 300 people were evacuated in Kazakhstan overall. The majority of them are allocated at all the local schools. Within the night, the fire has even spread to the neighboring Russia. The fires have emerged in Altai and Novosibirsk regions. 300 houses were destroyed in the Russian village Nikolaevka. The group of forces and equipment was already created. The fire is continuing to spread, and all these forces are ready to start the extinguishing in case of the worsening of the situation. Our common border passes through the forest, as you probably know, and we always would solve such problems, but in this case the weather conditions are very extreme, and they have influenced the development of the situation. According to the latest data, the fire was extinguished in the Semey-Ormany reservation in the eastern Kazakhstan. However, the fight with the fire is continuing on the territory of Pavlodar region and the Russian Federation.
The Kazakh parliament had raised an issue of amnesty yet again. This time it was initiated by the Senator Gani Kasimov, who requested to time it to the president's anniversary on July 6th previously. Then the initiative didn't find sufficient support to be realized.
Prior to the Constitution Day celebration on August 30th, the Justice Ministry official representative told reporters that no amnesty was going to be announced in the honor of the holiday. This has outraged the senator, who brought up the old arguments while renewed his inquiry in the parliament. The Kazakh prisons are overcrowded. There are more than 60,000 convicts held in them today, said Kasimov. According to the current legislation, those who were sentenced up to 5 years are eligible for amnesty. The parliamentarian also asks to release those with serious diseases such as AIDS and TB, and also pregnant women. The head of the state doesn't mind, so doesn't Speaker and the Prime Minister. Those who do, they're against the country. Just the press secretary of the Justice Ministry?
Tortures in the prisons and human trafficking issues were addressed during a thematic seminars held in Almaty yesterday. The event was attended by the transport prosecutors of Almaty city and the region. 10 years ago, Kazakhstan had joined the UN International Convention against the transnational crime. However, the human trafficking still remains very topical for Kazakhstan, say the Crisis Centers Union representatives.
Many end up being exploited not only sexually but also in low-profile works. Citizens of neighboring Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan with low incomes often end up in Kazakhstan in search for jobs. During the recruit, they are usually promised a good job, but once they arrive in the work site, they end up becoming labor slaves. Police officers and the prosecutor's office workers often establish the labor slaves passing through the border checkpoints. However, not all of the officers know well all the international documents which imply protecting such people's rights, say the organizers. Therefore, the seminar fulfills the legal gaps. In one seminar, we have united two big structures who must cooperate with each other. Both the Transport Prosecution Office and Transport Police, as most of this happens to people who trespass the borders, are eventually being forced.
Where does the corruption come from? This question was addressed during a thematic roundtable held in the headquarters office of the Nur Otan ruling party in Almaty yesterday. Fight against corruption is one of the key points of President Nazarbayev's plan for Kazakhstan's development until year 2011. Considering that only 4 months left until the end of the program terms, it doesn't seem to have produced any noticeable results.
The anti-corruption demarch was launched on Thursday by the Almaty branch of the Nur Otan political party. On the round table, the party members have defined the main hotbeds of corruption in Almaty, naming service centers, notary and registry offices. One of the members of the Anti-Corruption Council has even presented the videotape where the citizens exposed the service centers. He also commented on the tape, saying that the documents are processed with the delay, but if an individual pays a bribe, they will be processed on time. In 6 months of the year 2010, there were 33 appeals to bring the notary offices to disciplinary responsibility. We were surprised to see that 16 of them were left unsatisfied. Notably, the private notary chamber absolutely ignores the order of the state responsible body represented by the Justice Department. The infamous businessman Mukhtar Ablazov in course of this year made statements that the son-in-law of the president Timur Kulibayev used the corruption schemes while selling the Kazakh oil fields to Chinese investors. However, the case was hushed and Kulibayev has even filed a lawsuit against Ablazov over the protection of honor and dignity. However, during today's roundtable of Nur Otan, such large-scale scandals were not mentioned. We will definitely give this information to the central apparatus, to Nigmatulin, and to the Justice Minister. I would like to listen to you. Anyone wants to say anything? The anti-corruption roundtable of Nur Otan party has once again proved that the large-scale corruption in Kazakhstan is invincible.
The BTA Bank management had presented a report with impressive title, Unique and Successful Experience in Restructuring the Debt Obligations in Moscow yesterday. Everything seemed to start smoothly until the Russian reporters started asking about the Goldman Sachs claims to return the debt in full volume and restructure the 60% of creditors' debts. Next story from the capital of Russia has more.
The BTA Bank management presented a report on a successful completion of restructuring its debt obligations in Moscow yesterday. The document seems quite impressive, especially for the Russia Sberbank. Will Sberbank buy it? You should actually ask them. This is actually one of the potential investors which has all the details of the BTA Bank situation. Many times already its representatives have stated that for them one of the key conditions is the completion of restructuring procedures, so its completion now may facilitate the negotiations. It was revealed during the press conference that Samruk Kazyna Fund will get rid of its shares from the BTA, Alliance and Temir Bank within 30 years from now. However, neither the Sberbank nor any other bank seem to be keen on purchasing the BTA Bank assets. I believe those conditions which they were finally able to reach are quite unbeneficial for creditors, considering the bank's situation prior to its restructuring. The Sberbank may be concerned because of the bank's new management attempts to forcefully nationalize the BTA and then reach out to all its debtors abroad, including Russia. Until recently, the list allegedly included the scandalous Eurasia Logistic Company, the top managers of which were accused in embezzling the bank's assets. And now, actually, the Eurasia Logistic is not amongst the clients of the BTA Bank as of today, while major clientele is the real estate industry. Representative is in Moscow City and the region. We are literally forced to reach up and grab these assets in order to somehow compensate our loans. The bank authorities employed a reliable method to reach out to Eurasia Logistics through the Russian law enforcement bodies. However, according to Nikolai Varenko, the mentioned company is not a client of the BTA, and this means that no embezzlement charges are appropriate. Thus, the situation on the Eurasia Logistics get only more complicated.
The persecutions of the independent trade unions activists are underway. One of the most active defenders of the workers' rights and employee of the Amba-Munaygas was fired in Atrau region. Musin was among striking workers protesting in summer against the new wage system introduced by the employers. Now the activist claims that the company is simply taking a revenge for his public activities.
The oil worker was dismissed with words saying his health condition does not comply with the requirements of job description. For more than 6 years, Asılhan works as a fourth-class produced water utilization engineer at the Embamunaygaz, a subsidiary of the Kazmunaygaz company. The worker believes that his dismissal is motivated by only one thing: his active participation in the strike, as during all previous years the employer didn't care much about his health. Now Musin appealed to the court asking to restore his job. I've already appealed to the court. I don't drink, I'm not absent at work, and my health condition is just fine, as I go through medical tests every day. I'm sure I was dismissed only because I participated in the strike.
Pro-governmental media forum supported by Dariga Nazarbayeva is going to be replaced by a new one entitled Future of the Media is in the hands of journalists. One of its organizers, the Voice of the Republic newspaper representatives, say the new forum will be distinguished by its local approach to the problems, while other forums address more of the global issues. Next report has the details.
Another media forum will start functioning in Kazakhstan. Its organizers, including the Respublika newspaper, Institute for War and Peace Reporting and MediaNet Center representatives, claim that this is a discussion platform for journalists to deal with topical issues. This is by no means repeating the functions of already existing Eurasian Media Forum and Media Kurultai. The forum coordinator Irina Mednikova thinks all three organizations have their own unique goals. We believe the competitive ability of the media is the main issue nowadays, and everybody understands this here. Unfortunately, Kazakh media is not competitive nowadays because of market conditions they have to operate in. The new media forum vision and strategies will be developed by the regional journalists. This way, the organizers hope to avoid the global approach and concentrate more on the local issues. With the framework of the annual thematic summit, the mass media actors will pay more attention to the so-called convergent media. As stated by the IWPR regional coordinator Adil Jalilov, the industry is so filled up that it's time to discuss new direction in journalism related with the vastly developing communications. This is a very constructive dialogue which provides an opportunity to produce some results beneficial to the society. Interestingly, the given media forum will not have a sustainable host, as the current organizers are ready to pass all the available resources to any organization interested in doing it. Participants have outlined that such platform may attract a wide range of civil society members, including parliamentarians, state officials, NGO, and even media products consumers. Anyways, the program agenda has yet to be developed, as the next work session was scheduled for September the 20th.